Good morning everyone and welcome to January you can't see it, January the 26th. I've got it laid out like this just so that you can see how January is filling up. It's filling up very nicely and can you believe we've just got these few more days to go and then we're into February. Time really does fly, doesn't it? So I'm going to stitch today's here. And you can see that yesterday I just did some sort of wavy rows of chain stitch with some grey running stitch at either side. And I had some grey thread left over from this. So what I do when that happens is I bring it up into the next day, ready to start the next day. And one, that gives you the opportunity to use up this end that isn't quite a full length. But also I think it gives some continuity between the days. So I'm going to start off with this part end. And what I thought I might do today is I had a few questions about this stitch here, the outlining stitch on this this square here, and it's scroll stitch, which is really easy to do. So I thought I might do some scroll stitch down here and maybe across there. And then we'll look at it again. Right, so for scroll stitch, we're going to have the thread coming round that side. I'm just going to take a little running stitch there and pull that not too tight, and you end up with a little sort of curly Q type shape. So we're going to go another running stitch. So it's basically a cross between chain stitch and blanket stitch, I guess. But it travels along fairly briskly. And you can do it as big or small as you want to. But it does make a really attractive line. I mean, if you had it horizontal, it would look a little bit like little waves on the sea, I guess. So I'm going to take that down under there, and then I will come back up kind of in that circle. I've still got some thread left, so I'm going to keep going. And I'll just do the same again along here. So it's just a running stitch with the thread underneath. Coming out, going back in again a little bit, twisting a little bit further ahead. Okay, so I've just chosen a different colour because I'd used all that grey right to the end, so I can start with a new colour now. So this one is, I've labelled it Silk Pearl 8/12. It's more like Silk Pearl 12. I no longer sell this one. It's one of the ones that I've discontinued because I couldn't get it anymore. Silk Pearl 12, or maybe 1 or 2 strands of DMC would be roughly similar. So when I don't know what to do, I quite often repeat the thing I've just done. And there are many times when I don't know what to do. You know, I'm not a walking library of stitch patterns. Most of them come from just start and see what happens. And sometimes you come up with something really inventive, sometimes you don't. Them's the breaks. I'm just going to correct that because I should have come up right in that corner, so I'm just going to do a tiny stitch there just to line those up. And again, it's the same stitch, just scroll stitch. It looks a little bit like the couched silk boucle. So it would be another good way of outlining the grids. if you are outlining them, you don't have to. And you can see how quickly this travels. I mean, that's done already. It's such a nice thing to do. I'm going to bring that thread up there. Let's turn it round and have a look at it. And I think what I might do here is just travel back this way with something really, really simple like running stitch. Because this is Monday morning. We don't want anything too taxing. So I'm just following this shape just to see what happens. And while I'm doing that, I'd like to say thank you very much for your cheerleading. Made me smile. So yes, thank you. I will carry on with the videos since that seems to be the consensus. Maybe 1 or 2 a week. We'll see how we go. You can see I'm just going round and round here because I'm not really thinking about it, and that's really the best approach. You know, don't sit and look at it. Just start and see what happens. Because if your hands are busy, your hands will just do it, and you have to kind of let go and trust to an extent. But that's what will happen. A few people have commented, well, one or two people have commented on how annoying the adverts are, and yes, I agree, they are. But the adverts is a way for me to carry on making this free. Because if I didn't allow adverts, then I would have to charge a subscription. And I don't want to do that. I want these videos to be freely available. So, I mean, I think the occasional advert is the price you pay for being able to see it for free. And I'm sorry, it's annoying. The best thing to do if you see an advert you don't want to watch is use it as an opportunity to check your posture and also stretch your hands now and again, because, you know, doing anything, any repetitive action for a significant time is probably not good for us. Anyway, that's my take on the adverts. I'm sorry they're annoying. There it is. I think the other thing you can do as well, if you really don't want to have the stress of the adverts, is I think you can get a YouTube Premium, can't you, that kind of cuts them out. But again, you know, that isn't going to be free. Depends how strongly you feel about it. Now, while we're about it, so a couple of people have asked about the back, because they're saying their back is very untidy. Doesn't matter at all. If you do what I call proper embroidery, and I don't think of this as embroidery, I think of it as hand stitching. If you do proper formal embroidery, they will tell you that the back should be as neat as the front. It's usually because you've got to stretch it and frame it, and because any knots on the back will kind of disrupt the surface, you know, when it's been stretched flat over a board or in a frame. But for something like this that is never really going to be framed, it's absolutely fine. You know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of it. You can make the back as neat or as not as you want. For a stitched cloth that is unlikely to be framed, it doesn't really matter too much. If you think you are going to frame your work, again, there's probably enough texture on the surface that the odd knot on the back won't really matter, because we've got a variety of textures here anyway. You know, we've got some very fine stitching, we've got some quite chunky threads laid down, some yarns here couched down. So there is quite a variety of texture actually already on the surface. And again, my view is it won't matter. The back, actually I think the back is really interesting, because the front is what you did and the back tells you how you did it. So this is where you went, this is how you got there. And I think the back tells its own story. And yes, it is full of loose ends and knots and bits of ends woven in and long floats, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Like I say, I really like the back, and some stitches actually look better from the back. You can see that this one looks almost the same on the back, and actually I think I prefer the back because the stitches between are slightly smaller. So occasionally I will actually stitch from the back so that the wrong side shows on the front. And you know, I don't often call it the wrong side because there are two sides. You know, this is one side, this is another side. Neither one is right or wrong. But anyway, if you're not pleased with the back of your work, it's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you're doing it regularly and that you're enjoying it. That's the only thing you have to worry about. I actually think of this kind of work as a kind of self-portrait, because most art is actually a self-portrait. It's something that comes from your deepest kind of consciousness, and I think most art is a self-portrait. So I kind of think of it as this is the side we show the world, and this is our true hidden self, the side we don't show to anybody, the side we keep hidden. And most of us are like this on the back. You know, most of us have loose ends and frayed edges, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. This is just the last side of this frame. And I've got some thread left, so I'm going to thread that frame. So you can see most of what's happening today is, I think I'll come up in that one, putting down some stitches and then just responding to it depending on what thread you've got available. Just thread that under there and that under there, and I've still got some thread left. Actually, I quite like that. I like the way that's turned out. Let's just put a little something in the middle, just to use this thread up. So maybe we'll just do a little straight stitch star or something. Okay, there we go. I think I'm going to call that done. And tomorrow we have another smallish block. I really like these smaller ones. They're very manageable, aren't they? I have no idea what I'm going to do with this big one here for the 1st of February. And that happens to be a Sunday, so there won't be a video of it because I'm being really strict with myself this year and not working weekends. But anyway, I'll maybe talk about it on the following Monday. But let's just get January done first. 5 days left, so I'll see you later in the week with one of these. And for today, happy stitching.